What's up, world? This your guy Guitar K, and today we're going to be talking about obedience and integrity. Look, man, I'm telling you, these two things will keep you out of trouble. These two things will keep you out of hot water. These two things will help you reach the greatest heights in life. Obedience and integrity. Look, man, see, my problem growing up was I knew how to be obedient when my grandmother was watching, right? I knew how to be good when it would get me something real quick in the here and now. See, we call that instant gratification. But that's not integrity. Integrity is what you doing when ain't nobody watching. See, I would be obedient when everybody was looking. I would be good when all eyes on me. But when nobody wasn't looking, then I want to be sneaky. I want to be sneaking off, doing things that I knew wasn't good. I want to be disobedient when nobody's watching. You remember that Christmas song, Santa Claus is Coming to Town? It's a line in there that say, be good for goodness sake. See, that was my problem. I ain't want to be good for goodness sake. I ain't want to be good just because I knew it was the right thing to do. I wanted to be good, to look good, when people was watching. But that's not integrity, man. That's not true obedience. True obedience is being obedient to doing what's right all the time. You remember that Spike Lee movie, Do the Right Thing? Look, man, do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. I was watching this video the other day, and the gentleman was talking about he don't not break the law because of the police. He said that he don't break the law because he knows that the things that breaking the law entails goes against what he believed in. That's integrity. That's the true, moral compass and standards and values that true obedience and true integrity entails. It's not that you're not out here, robbing and pillaging and raping because it's the law says it's the wrong thing to do. It's because that in your heart of hearts, you know that it's the wrong thing to do. That is true obedience. That is the true meaning of being good for goodness sake. Look, man, we're talking about obedience and integrity. We're talking about doing the right thing all the time when ain't nobody looking. That's the type of behavior that we need to foster today. That is when it's truly in your heart. The Bible say that what you have in your heart is what's truly, going to lead you to where you're trying to go. It says that where a man's heart is where he's going to go. That's what's going to lead you all day, man. Look, we're talking about obedience. We're talking about doing the right thing all the time. Not when a tragedy happened. Not when something knocks you loose and knocks you silly and forces you to do the right thing. And I use that example, man, because a lot of people, when we get ourselves in a jackpot, now all of a sudden we praying to God.
Oh my God.
Get me out of that. Oh God, please get me out of this. But if you're praying to God constantly, if you're always in constant contact, if you're always, praying to be in a position of obedience, man, look, you ain't got nothing to worry about. In recovery, we have a statement that says, as long as you follow that way, you have nothing to fear. And look, the truth is, man, when you're doing right from wrong. We know right from wrong. Does that mean that life's going to be perfect just because you're doing right all the time? No, but we know that 9 times out of 10, when you're doing right, when stuff does happen, more than likely it's not coming from a direct result of something that I did to myself. Because truth be told, most of the problems that happened to me and most of the things that went wrong in my life came from disobedience. It came from not being good for goodness sake. And at the end of the day, man, I'm not trying to keep making them same mistakes. I'm not trying to keep going through the same struggles and the same things that happen. And I found that being obedient and being good, they say, do the next right thing. They say, hey, find God's will for you. And today it happens to be that I choose God. I choose that to be my guiding light. See, the thing is, we got to find something positive, something productive, something healthy to be obedient to. Because at the end of the day, you're obedient to something. Look, you can say what you want to say. If you think that the only thing you are obedient to is your way of thinking and what you want to do all the time, look, I'm telling you, man, you're in a bad position already. Find something higher than yourself. Find a cause greater than yourself. Find a way, a practice, some principles, something to be obedient to, man. Look, we live by faith, not by sight. When I was young, a lot of things that my grandmother and older adults told me to do, I didn't really understand. I didn't know what I was really looking at or looking for, but I did it. I did it in faith because I believed in them. I love them. I seen positive things going on in their life, and most of the time it worked out for me. It wasn't until I started getting grown, start smelling myself, thinking that I knew better than them, that I started going against their ways, going against their teachings, and that's when a lot of my problems started, man. I'm just telling the truth. Just truth be told. Look, like I said, man, today I choose God and I choose spiritual principles as what I'm being obedient to today. That's what I'm being obedient to today. And it gives me like a map. You know, something to guide me, something to strive for daily. And it gives me like a certain direction to go in. Because when you're not having a map or something that's giving you your direction, you're lost. You're all over the place. You're here, you're there, you're everywhere, man. And you find yourself in areas where you're like, well, how did I get here? And then you got to ask yourself, what are you following? What are you connected to? What are you being obedient to? And when you're not being obedient to something that's higher than you or something that's going to keep you accountable, you have no integrity because you have nothing to be faithful to. You have nobody looking at you. You have nobody asking you questions. You have nothing questioning your motives. But when you have a certain guidelines and certain principles, something to question what you're thinking about doing, it keeps you in focus. It keeps you going in a certain direction, man. And if you're not going in a certain direction, at the end of the day, you're lost. At the end of the day, you're just willy-nilly. You're wishy-washy. You're all over here. You're all over there. And if you don't want to follow a way, if you don't want to follow principles and morals and something higher than you, man, that's nothing but ego and pride and arrogance and thinking that you know better than everybody else and you just only want to be obedient to yourself. That is crazy. That is self-centeredness. That is self-serving behavior. And at the end of the day, when you only serve self, you're going to find yourself by yourself, stuck, dead, cut off from the rest of the world, man. But with true obedience, man, I'm telling you, you gain momentum. You gain new blessings. You start to find out that true obedience and integrity is what it was all about the whole time, man. And then the older folks tried to teach us this as kids, but you know, we think we know better. We like, oh man, they just old, they don't know nothing. But they try to tell us, they like, look, everything that you're thinking, we done. Everything that you're about to go through, we done been through. But look, man, as you get older and you start to go through some of them things, some of them life lessons start to come back to you, man. Look, man, look, man, look. We be in this world and we start to see things, them lessons and them one-liners and them cliches, they start to come back, man. Obedience, man. Obedience will keep you up on your game. It will keep you at a top level of your game. It'll keep you in the game. Look, when you're not obedient, you get took out the game. You get penalized. You get set on the sideline. You go to prison. Might get killed. Look, man, I'm talking about following a good, positive, healthy way. Be obedient. Being obedient will open up doors for you. Being obedient will help you step into new possibilities. It'll put you in the right place at the right time. It'll keep you from moving too fast. It teaches you patience. It teaches you to be kind to others. It teaches you to keep your hands to yourself. It teaches you to not be, taking what's not yours and to wait for your portion and to just do things right across the board. Not only when people is looking, because when you think that you can, what's that statement? When the cat's away, the mouse will play, and all that bull crap like that. Look, man. Especially in today's society, man, somebody is always watching. You never know who's watching, and your actions, what's done in the dark will eventually come to light. But when you're always living in the light, when you're always being obedient and you're always doing good, you ain't got nothing to worry about. Like I said, as long as you find a good, healthy way, a good, positive way, and you practice that way and you follow it, no matter what, No matter what, even when people talking crap about you, even when people lying on you, even when people saying that you ain't this and you ain't that, stick to your way. Eventually you're going to have your breakthrough. Eventually, look, man, look, greatness is made up by small steps of obedience and being good and doing the right thing. Because we all know that one misstep, doing one wrong thing, can knock down all your goodness. Even if that one wrong thing was done in the dark, because we never know when it's going to get exposed. But like I said, as long as you follow the right way, you have nothing to fear, man. Look, man, stick to being obedient. Look, man, look. For you, me, her, him, everybody, obedience and integrity is going to open doors for us. It's going to get us where we want to be, man. Look. It's time to find a way, the right way, and follow that way. It's all about obedience and integrity today. This is your guy, Guitar K. Be more